At 11 minutes to 10 a.m. It's time now to unpack the practical journeys. Now, this is a non-profit organization looking at the various campaigns, and we joined on the line this morning by Faheema Arnold, the executive member and coordinator of the Women Empowerment Group, which is called The Practical Journey. Sister Faheema, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Juma Mubarak, and welcome to you.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Uncle Anyat. And Juma
Inayat.
Mubarak to you and your Inayat Maaf. And Juma Mubarak to you and your listeners.
Yes, Faima, let's talk about the practical journey. Now, I've seen this poster and talking of various things. We're talking about women empowerment, we're talking about education, youth development, Hajj, Umrah, aged, the leisure. Just give us an insight into the practical journey, its formation, and what are some of the key issues or vision of of the organization.
Yes, Alhamdulillah. The Practical Journey was founded by Insaf Hassan, and it started off with Hajj and Umrah, where we created workshops in order to assist Hujjaj on their travels, especially those that's going for the very first time, what the expectations are, and just to guide them along the way. And then we branched out to the six branches, being youth development, women empowerment, aged, education department, leisure, and we kept the Hajj and Umrah section as well. Now, what the Practical Journey is about, it's a registered non-profit organization where we aim to lead positive social changes. We'd like to develop communities, educate and empower the most vulnerable in our communities. So we are a group of men and women who we have various projects and get involved in various ventures and projects to actually assist the community, and that's basically what it is about.
Well, in fact, it's very, very encouraging to note that, looking at not only the space of Hajj and Umrah, but looking at all the other branches that you're looking at, things like women empowerment, education, youth development, also looking at the old people. And yesterday, I know we spoke to a Maulana Munib, and we were talking about old people and the elderly as well. And, especially at times like these, it's important to be involved in all these projects because all these things are absolutely important, very, very necessary at a time like this, Sister Paima.
Absolutely, Uncle Anayat. We've identified that in the case of youth development, there is a great need to involve youth in various ventures and also to sort of tap into that particular community to guide and educate the youth. In the case of women empowerment, um, there's there's a lot of avenues when it comes to women as well, where women need guidance. They need that sisterly contact with questions and that some women is afraid to actually speak about. And also we get very much involved in the rape crisis and abused women. So we're not afraid to tap into those avenues and reach out to these women to say, look, here is sort of a venture. This is what you can, to help them to build up that courage again. In the case of the aged, we approach the various retirement homes to basically say, let's have a fun day, and that is also one of the projects that I'll be speaking about a bit later. To basically say that it's not that the community forgets about you. In order for them to also feel valued. In the case of education, we've got ladies involved where education is concerned. We've not too long ago we've had basically a project where it was sort of like to let them know of what development routes they are, if they maybe need assistance on careers that they'd like to go into. So we've had a project for that not too long ago as well. And the leisure is basically just to have a little bit of fun. Reach out to the community. I'll be speaking about the amazing race event that we had about a year ago, and we're planning to do again as well. And then, of course, the Hajj and Umrah, very dear to our hearts. People going on Umrah, how to guide them, what they need to wear. We go all the way in order to show the men what the ihram, the ladies, what they need to do, how they need to act in the haram, what they may need to expect. And these classes are actually given by previous Hujjaj, how their experiences are, so it's real life experiences, what they need to do at the various places, Mina, Medina, in Makkah, and that sort of thing. So we really do our research. What we do in these various projects, all these ladies and men, it's truly by heart, and all our reward is by the grace of Allah and from Allah Ta'ala.
Well, certainly, and also, I'm just looking at the name, the practical journey, and from what you've just described, it's practical in every sense of the world, because a word, because these are the issues, these are practical issues that we are faced with on a day-to-day basis, and these are the projects that you speak of, Sister Fahima, when we're talking about all the different projects. But these are real issues, these are real challenges at times that people are actually faced with. And for example, just looking at the age, for instance, and as you mentioned, providing them in as they get on in life, providing them with a platform where they feel comfortable, that they are still honored, that they still hold their dignity, that they still hold their respect. Now these are real issues that on a social basis, that we should be looking at on a day-to-day basis. And this is where I'm very, very impressed with what you have just said, Sister Paima. Just looking at the type of support that you have, because it costs money. You need sponsorships, you need donations, you need contributions, and at the same time, you also need a support in other ways: moral support, physical support, volunteers being part and parcel of the practical journey.
Absolutely, Uncle Ayat. Our volunteers, we reach out to many of people that we know, and like I say, like for example, the ladies that helped me on the women empowerment group, they are all fellow Hujaj as well. So yes, unfortunately, in the last 2 years, with COVID stopped us from doing that. We tried to reach out, via Teams and various other technical platforms. But now that all that is lifted, many of the people, they yearn, like especially you've mentioned the aged, they yearn that contact again, that someone that comes around to actually make that social contact. So yes, we have volunteers that is onboarded. We've got our volunteer group. We've got our exec group that basically sees to make sure that where are the avenues in the communities, in the various communities that needs our help, and our support. We rely completely on the community, and we will use our platforms in the social media such as Facebook. We are active on Facebook. We make use of the WhatsApp groups, asking people to send around the communication, and as, of course the radio stations, to ask the community for financial support, because that is how we can actually give back to the community in order to make these various ventures happen.
Well, certainly, and I'm just going to give out the contact details. There is an email which is called the Practical Journey NPC at gmail.com. There is a telephone number 081 737 2796. So if you need more information, these are the avenues you can make contact. And yes, you can look them up on Facebook as well, the Practical Journey NPC, and also on Instagram, the Practical Journey. And this is for our listeners, and they once you make contact, they have got their banking account, which is with FNB 62847 0422546. And Sister Faheema, inshallah, we trust and hope that you continue with the wonderful work, you, your team, and everybody else that is associated with the practical journey. We wish you all the best. Once again, we say Jazakallah khairan for joining us, for taking time out, talking to us, and have yourself a great, a wonderful, a highly spiritual Jummah, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair, Uncle Anayat, and yourself and your viewers too. Shukran for the opportunity.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well, that was Faheema Arnold joining us. And next up, we're going to be playing out an interview, and this was from Marhum, the late Ibrahim Gangat Rahimahumullah, a legend in almost more ways than one. First host of News and Views, veteran broadcaster. And this was an interview that he had with Brother Yusuf Arbi, who recently passed away and returned to the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, Yusuf is the brother of Abdul Haq Arbi of the Silsabil Hotel in Durban. And knowing Abdul Haq, Alhamdulillah, our association at Salam Media has been so wonderful. And our thoughts, our condolences go with Abdul Haq Arbi and the rest of his family. We also make dua for Yusuf Arbi. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him forgiveness. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fill his qabr with nur. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him the highest stages in Jannah, and also Sabrun Jamil to Abdul Haq Arbi and the rest of the family on the loss of Brother Yusuf. But it is appropriate that we play out this interview this morning with the late Ibrahim Gangat, rahimahumullah.